Double Jeopardy from 1955 was an enjoyable crime noir film starring Rod Cameron, Gale Robbins, and Allison Hayes, and it was directed by R.G. Springsteen. The movie opens up with Robert Armstrong playing the drunken character Sam, who's staggering home, meets up with the landlady and pays off his rent for the month. And yes, this is Robert Armstrong of King Kong fame. A little older here, but looks most the same. Now, from his room, from the window, he sees his wife arrive outside in a car. This is Marge, played by actress Gale Robbins, and she's carrying on with this shady character Jeff, played by Jack Kelly. He's this used car salesman, and they're smooching away in the car, and he sees this. Well, she goes back to her room, and Sam is awake, and he smacks her around like a jerk. But when she threatens to leave him, he offers her money from this mysterious $500 he gets paid every month. Now, she's suspicious, but she sticks with this creepy old drunk. The next day, character Mark is played by Rod Cameron, star of many old Western movies. He shows up at the office. Now, he's an attorney for this building financier, Emmett Devery, who's played by John Littell. I saw him recently as this blood expert in the movie The Return of Dr. X. It was that really weird one with Humphrey Bogart. Well, anyhow, he's in this, and he rejects the advice of his lawyer to get government financing for a new housing project. He won't give reasons why, but it appears he's being blackmailed by this character Sam, the drunk from the beginning. Well, Mark is dating Emmett's daughter, Barbara, who's played by Allison Hayes, and they go out for dinner, but Mark kind of remains suspicious. Something fishy is going on with Emmett. Well, the next day Marge shows up at the used car lot where Jeff works, pleading for him to help her get away from drunken Sam, who she's stuck married to. They plot how they're going to get more money from Jeff so they can flee to Mexico, and then they smooch in a used car until the boss shows up. Well, Marge tries to con Sam into getting more money, and Sam falls for it, and he demands that Emmett pay him $10,000 to be all done with him completely. It's kind of like a big final payoff of the blackmail. They meet at this remote place near a steep cliff, and Emmett says he's had enough, no more blackmailing, and he drives off. So, there wasn't really any violence or anything. He just wants to be done with him. Sam is left alone, but Jeff has been watching in secret and goes to demand that Sam pay. And there's a scuffle. As Sam tries to drive off, he accidentally drives off a cliff and dies as he tries to get away. Well, police are involved. The detectives start investigating. They're led by this police lieutenant Freed, who's played by actor John Galladay. And they go after Emmett to talk to him. He finally confesses everything to his earlier partnership with Sam, the blackmail, and all that stuff. They arrest him and take him away. Now, Mark goes into detective mode here, and he goes around to the car place where Jeff works, asks a lot of questions. He even talks to the head guy, Happy Harry, who was played by actor Dick Elliott, who had a role in Christmas in Connecticut with Barbara Stanwyck. It was actually one of my favorite Christmas films. Well, Mark leaves, and he tries to speak to Marge, who shuts the door in his face, but he has more results with the landlady, who is played by Minerva Urical. She's an actress I've seen in a few Bela Lugosi monster films before. So she gives Mark a few clues that there was this other guy that was hanging around with Marge. So Mark and Barbara follow her to the car place where she meets with Jeff. And Jeff plans on ditching his job and heading to Mexico with Marge, and they leave. But something doesn't seem right. You think this scheming Jeff may have something shady in store for Marge. Well, Mark is in pursuit. And will he find out what's going on? You're going to have to watch this one for yourself to see how things conclude. This was a fine crime noir film. I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything spectacular. And it's mostly actors I've never seen before, other than Robert Armstrong, who, like I said, he's a little bit older from his King Kong days, but he does a good job here. Now, Rod Cameron was great as the lead with his booming deep voice and the tough guy persona. And I've never really seen him in anything before. I researched he's been in a bunch of westerns that I'll have to check out as I continue to explore films from the past. And also, while researching, it looks like there have been several other films called Double Jeopardy that have been made. They were released in 1992, 96, 99. I recall seeing the one from 99 with Tommy Lee Jones and Ashley Judd. I remember very little about it other than it had sort of a fugitive vibe going on to it. So that's Double Jeopardy from 1955. This is just kind of a quick review. The film was good. It's an entertaining crime noir film worth checking out.